Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today I'm going to do a video on my epic mistakes. Epics that I leveled either up to 60 or even some of them up to 50, invested a lot of resources into, and actually they've got no place for me in the game at all. Some of them I literally just leveled for faction wars. Others I actually leveled to try and take on people like Stu Gaming in challenges, thinking they'd be better than they are. And actually they're kind of trash. So let's start with, first one for me, Tashada. Tashada, I leveled up to 60. She now lives in my vault. All she does in my vault right now is try to boost my player power. I booked her with a whole bunch of books. She's got multipliers that say they're based on defense and attack. So I thought maybe she's going to hit really hard. She's also got this ability to revive an ally on array 3, which again I thought was pretty cool. And she brought me some speed in the faction crypts for Barbarian. Now, firstly, she doesn't hit very hard. She hits pretty soft, even on this A3 ability, which is kind of like a big ability. And the thing with this ability, so Ultan, who's also a Barbarian, if he slams somebody with his A2 and kills them, he picks up a dead ally. I thought this was kind of like the same move. Attacks one enemy, revives a random ally with 40% HP if this attack kills the target. Only available when an ally is dead. You'd think that would be all the time that there's an ally dead, but actually this spikes up for like a window of opportunity to use it. It's not up all the time. So if someone dies and then it's like 2 turns on, this won't still be there to use, which is pretty awful. Also, the damage on it is not high. So to get the kill from this move, one of the enemies has got to be very, very low. She does have very nice base stats, and I really was hopeful that she was going to be a hard-hitting tank. She's not. She's very middle of the road. She doesn't even get in my faction war team anymore. I've got people like War Maiden going in above her. So that's my first epic mistake, Tashada. My second one is Jane. When I was doing the test with Stu and we were looking for poisoners, Jane was one of those poisons that I thought could be really strong. Her base stats are kind of okay. Good base speed. The rest of them are okay to bad. She has got poison on array 1. She's got the chance to increase debuffs on array 2, but it's a 5-turn cooldown. I didn't go all the way into booking this one, because when I put her out there in Clan Boss, she was weak. And this dropping down one more turn is definitely not worth the books. I wish I hadn't leveled her up to 60. I think she's one of the worst epic poisoners in the game. So for me, epic mistake number 2 is Jane. Third one for me then is Juliana. People know that I've got no love for Juliana. And here's another video where I tell people don't level her up. At one point, she was the go-to poisoner, HP burn champ for Clan Boss. She is way down the pecking order now. She gets surpassed by tons of rares. I'd probably still rather go for a Kale than a Juliana, honestly. She's got poison on her A2. She's got HP burn here. They're on long cooldowns. Her damage that she puts out is mediocre at best. I invested a lot of books into her, and they were a waste. Complete waste. I'll use her for nothing, and I can't see that I would ever use her in this game if I had a poisoner like a Frozen Banshee. So for me, she is epic mistake number 3. Okay, so let's go on to number 4. Then number 4 is Marksman. Kind of falls into the same lines. We've got 3 poisoners here, all of which I tried to level up and put some time into for Clan Boss just to test them out. Marksman was on a par with Juliana. And by that, I mean terrible. Absolutely terrible. I threw tons of books into this guy. He lacks so much. He's got a poison for 2 turns here. If he gets a crit, that's kind of nice. Gets some turn meter fill here. A 4-hitter here. But his damage output is low. It's really low. I would not invest in this guy. His base stats are shockingly bad. Terrible speed, terrible defense, really hard to keep alive. He's only really usable in Clan Boss, and again, he's just so weak compared to a lot of rares in the game now. So that's number 4. If we then look, so these aren't going to be people that, oh no, I do have one more 60. Frostbringer. Frostbringer, the amount of times I looked at this champion and I thought, she looks better than Apothecary. Why do people use Apothecary instead of Frostbringer? She's got a speed boost here. She's got an increased attack buff as well. She doesn't bring turn meter boost though, but it's on a 4-turn cooldown, whereas most speeds are on 3-turn cooldown. Bring this down another turn. Please, give her something. She's got a decreased defense here. I threw tons of books into her again. She is awful in this game. She hits weaker than any other rare, any other epic, pretty much any rare as well. The best thing about her is a defense aura in dungeons. Definitely not worth the masteries that I've kind of kicked into her here. Not worth the books that I put into her. She's a terrible epic that badly needs a buff. The only place that she's usable in the game would be Fire Knights, and even then, it's pretty bad. So she goes in as number 5. What I'm going to do now is just pick out some people that I leveled to 50 to try and test them in my earlier kind of faction war teams when I was trying to build teams out of champs that I had. Alika, people tell me, this is going to hit really hard. I didn't put books into her, but I did do some early level masteries and leveled to 50. She is terrible champion. She doesn't hit that hard. It hits pretty hard this, but not crazy hard. Bad champion. Infernal Baroness, kind of along the same line. She's not as bad as the other ones. But on auto, all she wants to do is throw veils on people. Give this something else. Just putting a veil on someone for one of your core abilities. This is her A3. This is her core ability. She does it before anything else. It's a shocking ability. Heals the ally with the lowest HP by 5% of the damage inflicted. She doesn't hit particularly hard. She's defense-based champion. That's about the only thing she's got going for her. But for me, she is not strong enough. She needs a buff. Hope. This is another one. So Hope was one of my earliest epics that I got. I used it everywhere in the game. She's got this buff removal, but it's 65-75% chance to remove all buffs. Sounds great, but a 5-turn cooldown. Compare that with Madame Cerise, 3-turn cooldown. And Madame Cerise throws debuffs out at the same time. This move's so old-fashioned compared to other champs that are out there now. She needs a buff massively. 4-turn cooldown on this shield. The shield is weak compared to a lot of epics in the game. And then we've got a block buff, single target on array 1. Everything about her kit needs an improvement. She's just not strong enough. Complete waste of my resources getting her up to 50. We've then got Durang. Durang on paper sounds like it should be pretty good. Ignores defense on an A1, that's nice. Attacks 2 times with a stun on his A2, sounds good. Attacks 3 times at random, decrease attack and defense where it lands. Fairly okay chance to do it. I mean, we've got plenty of epics out there now with this as an AoE ability. And this is a free hit at random. Come on. Could be a 3-turn cooldown, which is pretty good. He hits weak. He's actually got a nice speed aura for dungeons, but he either needs his multipliers improved or this needs to become AoE and then he's fixed. As he is right now, not worth your time. Next two are probably the next 3 are probably the 3 worst epics in the whole game. Galka, unusable in any area of the game, shockingly bad, terrible base stats, wasted resources ascending him, getting up to 50. Terrible, terrible champion. Kalia. Someone said to me, why don't you do Kalia when I was first trying to complete Spider 20? Why don't you level up Kalia? Because she's got an HP burn. She is so bad in this game. She's got really nice base speed. She's got terrible base stats though. Her skills just completely lacking. Heal reduction, AoE. Where do you need that? Honestly, where do you need that in the game right now? She's got this free hit at random HP burn. I guess there's a slight chance you might use it on Spider, but she's the wrong affinity for Spider, so you can't really use her any higher than 19. Is it worth leveling her up just for that? She's shocking in Faction Wars because she's so terrible at base defense. Awful champion. Absolutely wasted my resources getting her to where I did. Luckily, I didn't throw books into her or masteries yet, but terrible champ. Jotun. Jotun has got one of the best visuals in the game. Alright, he's just a Turvold copy, but really cool skin. Look at the size of this sword, guys. If you cannot hit someone hard with a sword that big, then what is the point of you in life? If you've got muscles like this, you've got this massive sword, why are you not cracking people for tons of damage? This guy is a wet noodle in a beefcake suit. He's basically wearing a costume or something. I don't know. Maybe this is made out of polystyrene. He's just awful in this game. Decreased defense is okay. HP burn is okay. The abilities are not bad. This one doesn't really do anything for us, but just a complete waste of time for this champion to be leveled and used. Terrible, terrible epic. One of the worst in the whole game, which is a shame because he actually looks pretty cool. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is a Ripper. Ripper, decreased max HP, awful ability. Damage increases as the target's HP decreases. Awful ability. Attacks one enemy will ignore 50% defense. Thank you, like that. Decrease their max HP. It's such a shockingly bad ability. There's nothing in this game that this is good for right now. Maybe there will be something at some point down the line. Right now, I leveled him to 50 for my Faction War team. He went in. He did nothing. He's got terrible base stats. And I can't see anybody trying to level this guy up to 60. What is the point of Ripper? He needs a complete rework. Absolutely shocking shocking champ. So, yeah, guys, some of them I invested more in than others, but they're definitely champs to watch out for. Do not invest your time in these epics. They were all mistakes for me. And, yeah, hopefully you guys don't make those same mistakes. Who have you guys invested in that have been a complete waste of your time? And perhaps you wish you'd seen a video like this before you did it. I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you all soon.